Hey everybody, JDOT here. I am just got done with the JDOT 5 prayer walk, and I am getting to the car so I can share some things that happened and surfaced this morning. So give me a second while I can find a spot where I can record real quick. All right, so hey everybody, I'm back. So I just finished the JDOT 5 prayer walk, and something happened I wasn't expecting, as it did last week. Song one asks, "When did Jesus call you?" And I can't count the times in my life that I have felt Jesus calling me, but I do remember the first one. I was 5 years old, and I remember feeling His presence, and it scared me, not knowing what it was. I didn't know what it was, but at the same time, there was this undeniable peace, this palpable love. It was something that drew me in, something that made me curious. Um, I found myself longing for it throughout my life. I chased it my whole life, and I knew at 5 that the answer was as simple as saying yes. Somehow I knew, but every time I heard him, I felt fear holding me back. And I've talked about this many times. But every time I felt His calling, I was overcome by peace, but yet too afraid to pick up my cross and follow. And the farther I got away from that first calling at 5, the more unworthy I felt as life happened, and decisions I made, the life that I led. And I don't feel like I led a bad life. I thought I led a pretty good life, and for the most part made good decisions. Not always, but for the most part. Um, but I felt more and more unworthy, more and more ashamed, and most importantly to me, more and more of a disappointment to Him. I spent my entire life with one foot in and one foot out. And again, I always knew that the answer was as simple as saying yes. But the enemy had a way of making it anything but simple, right? Um, he was telling me everything um, that I would miss, right? He was trying to tell me everything I'd miss by saying yes to Jesus, while distracting me from everything that I would gain. When I used to think about these things, it used to spiral me and derail me. The regret, the shame, everything I could have done in His name. But now I recognize those thoughts as lies, just to distract me from what God is calling me to do. And I'm a much bigger threat now than I was, or than I ever have been, I guess. So I recognize them as the lies that they are. And yet, it took God calling me home on May 13th, 2021, to finally release those fears, that kept me from Jesus all those years, to give me the courage to say yes, to step into what God is asking of me, to finally embrace instead of running. And here's the truth: none of this is me. It always makes me laugh. None of this is me. Everything you see today, the lyrical lifts, the J.5, the posts, the videos, um, none of it none of it's me. It's God working through me for His purpose. I don't have these skills. I don't have this insight. I don't have this knowledge. Anybody that knows me knows all that to be true. But I was thinking that maybe that's the point. For you to witness His work in me, through me.
Hey, everybody, so sorry I got cut off. My phone ran out of space. Recording that my message earlier, but I want to make no mistake. Jesus is calling. He's calling you, inviting you, and his arms are open wide. And my hope for you, my prayer for you, is that you don't let fear keep you from the love, peace, mercy, and grace that only a life with Jesus can provide. I think about all that you can do in his name. I think about all he can do through you. All the lives that you can impact by being brave enough to say yes to Jesus. It is that easy. And those thoughts that just surfaced, like, yeah, right, Jay, it's that easy. You don't know what I've done. You don't know my circumstances. I'm not worthy. I'm ashamed. All that just rose up. Lies. Lies meant to keep you from what's yours. A life in Jesus. Block all that out. Say yes. Jesus is calling you in your storm. Not after you clean up. Not after you're worthy. Not after you figure it out. Right now, in your mess, just as you are. Jesus says, come to me. Run to the Father. Leave it all in the river. And watch him turn your graves into gardens. Yeah, so this was position 1, the call, during my the JDOT 5 prayer walk this morning, and it's taken me a while to get to the end of recording because my phone was out of storage, but I continue to be amazed at how God is using this playlist, which started out just for 5 songs for me to kind of help me throughout the week, has morphed into something bigger, and there's something happened between when I recorded the last part of that video to now that is I can't share with you yet, but I'm just very thankful that the JDOT 5 is reaching people where they're at, and this prayer walk has been so incredibly powerful for me, and hearing other stories of them doing the prayer walk as well. I'm blown away by what God's doing, but I shouldn't be, because he's always used music in my life to reach me, to speak to me, to show me things. So I'm just grateful that others are experiencing that as well. And I'm going to continue to encourage others to do this prayer walk with me each week. But I just wanted to get out and share my experience this morning with the JDOT 5 prayer walk. And I'd love to hear your stories too. People have sent me messages and DMs and so forth, but I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to be able to share them with others. So you can DM me if you're watching on Instagram, or message me via Facebook. But I'll be back tomorrow with another prayer walk update.